Johnny Depp, caught in an intimate moment? Wait, who is she? That's the question on everyone's lips right now. You've probably seen the photos or heard the rumors, and just like me, you're curious. Because when it comes to Johnny, the world is always watching. Every smile, every hug, every glance he shares with someone becomes the center of attention. And today, we're diving into one of those moments that has the internet buzzing. So, let's talk about what really happened, why people are losing their minds, and who this mystery woman might be. Stick with me, because I promise you, by the end, you'll see this story in a way that feels a little clearer, a little more real, and maybe even a little surprising. Now, picture this. Johnny Depp, one of the most famous faces in Hollywood, is spotted in what looks like a private, personal moment. It's intimate. It's close. It's the kind of thing that makes people lean in and go, wait, hold up, what did I just see? And here's the thing, we've all been there. Haven't you ever had that moment where you're talking to a friend, maybe laughing too hard, maybe standing a little close, and someone else completely misreads it? They give you that look like, oh, what's going on here, when in reality, it's nothing more than two people enjoying a human connection. That's the first thing I want you to keep in mind. One hug, one smile, one whisper doesn't always mean romance. But of course, when you're Johnny Depp, the rules are different. For him, every single gesture can spark a headline. And spark a headline it did. The internet exploded. You know how it goes, people love a mystery. Fans started celebrating, others were skeptical, and some went full detective mode. Suddenly, timelines were filled with zoomed-in photos, theories, and questions. It's like the entire world turned into Sherlock Holmes for a day, trying to figure out, who is this woman? Why were they so close? And most importantly, what does it mean? Now, let's slow down and look at this step by step. First, the moment itself. Johnny was seen sharing what people called an intimate exchange. Maybe it was a hug. Maybe it was a whisper. Whatever it was, it looked personal enough to grab attention. And that's when the speculation started. Next, the reactions. Oh boy, the reactions were everywhere. Some fans were excited, saying things like, finally. Johnny deserves happiness again. Others were doubtful, rolling their eyes and claiming, it's just a photo, don't read too much into it. And then you had the hardcore investigators, the ones who zoom in, screenshot, analyze body language, and compare timelines like they're solving a cold case. But the real mystery is the woman. Who is she? That's the million-dollar question. And here's the twist, she wasn't who most people expected. Nope. She wasn't a Hollywood starlet. She wasn't a famous actress or model that you see in every magazine. Instead, she looked like someone closer to Johnny's personal circle. Maybe a longtime friend. Maybe a trusted confidant. Or maybe, just maybe, something more. And this is where it gets interesting. Because Johnny, as private as he is, often surrounds himself with people he trusts deeply. Not just colleagues. Not just casual acquaintances. Real friends. And when you think about that, doesn't it make sense that if he were to share a close moment with someone, it wouldn't necessarily be with the people we expect? Now, let's clear up a myth that always seems to come up. There's this belief floating around that every time Johnny is seen with someone new, it must mean romance. But let's pause for a second. Isn't that a little unfair? Celebrities are humans too. They have friendships. They laugh. They cry. They hug. And not every single one of those moments needs to be a love story. Think about your own life. Have you ever hugged a friend in public? Shared a laugh that maybe looked like more to someone on the outside? If you have, then you know exactly how easy it is for people to misinterpret a single moment. And if it happens to us regular folks, imagine how it feels when millions of people are watching your every move. That's the reality Johnny lives in. And it's not always fair, but it's the price of fame. Still, let's not ignore the curiosity. Because let's be honest, it's fun to wonder. Who is she really? A close friend from the past? A new companion? Or someone just sharing a genuine human moment with him? Here's something I want to share that might help us see it more clearly. Relationships in Hollywood, whether romantic or platonic, rarely reveal themselves in one single snapshot. They build over time. They show in patterns. You'll notice more appearances, more little moments, more consistent connections before it becomes obvious. So, what does that tell us here? Well, it tells us this one photo, this one intimate moment, is just the beginning. It's a puzzle piece, not the whole puzzle. Now let's talk about how fans like us can avoid falling into every rumor. Step 1. Pause before reacting. The internet moves fast, and sometimes what seems like breaking news is just a casual moment blown out of proportion. Step 2. Look for patterns. Real relationships, whether friendships or romances, don't usually stay hidden for long. They surface naturally, not just in one random snap. Step 3. Remember that celebrities value their privacy. Johnny especially has always been careful with what he shares. And usually, when he's ready to open up about something, he does it on his terms. And doesn't that make it even more fascinating? The mystery, the waiting, the guessing game. It's part of what keeps us hooked. Now, here's a pro insight I'll share with you. Many stars, Johnny included, use public appearances to send little messages without saying a word. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. A smile, a gesture, or even being seen with a certain person can set the internet ablaze. And in some cases, it's their way of controlling the narrative. So, could this intimate moment be Johnny's quiet way of saying something? Maybe. Or maybe it's just life being life. Let's step back for a second. Why do we care so much? Why do we find ourselves captivated by these moments? The answer is simple, because Johnny Depp isn't just any celebrity. He's a legend. He's been part of our lives through his movies, his music, his controversies, and his comebacks. We've seen him at his highs and at his lows. So naturally, when something new pops up, we lean in. Because in a way, it feels personal. Like watching an old friend you followed for years, and wanting to know if they're happy. And isn't that the heart of it all? The question of happiness. Fans want to know if Johnny's found peace, found love, found joy again. That's why this moment struck such a chord. Because whether it's romance or friendship, what matters is that it looked like a genuine connection. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? So now, I want to ask you, what do you think? Was this just a friendly moment caught at the wrong angle? Or was it something deeper, something more personal? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm curious to hear your take. And if you've enjoyed diving into this little mystery with me, don't stop here. I've got another video on Johnny Depp's secret love story, the one Hollywood tried to erase. Trust me, you'll want to see that next. And of course, if you like content like this, real talk, deep dives, and a little mystery, hit that like button, subscribe, and join me for more. Because in Hollywood, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. And with Johnny Depp, every story has another layer waiting to be uncovered. So stay tuned, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the most intimate moments aren't what they look like. Sometimes, they're just part of a bigger story we're all waiting to hear.